It is Monday, November 17th. We are back. It is another episode of the Golden View podcast. Brett Mydske joins us a scant 12 days before the Warriors kick off their 2025-2026 season at home against the Colorado Mammoth. But let's talk about a few things. I've been looking at some news here, Brett. Good to see you as always. So dropping in with a couple of signings to get going. I don't really actually know that much about Reese Callies. So maybe you can tell me a little more, because just reading Lindsay Horsting's article here on the Warriors website, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the Owen Grant signing, which is, I mean, I think anybody knew that was going to happen. But let's talk a little bit about Reese, because I obviously saw there yet again the championship pedigree, and I'm assuming winning a title as a rookie.
Yeah, was that his rookie year when he was in Calgary?
Yeah, I think so. And I figured it was with Kurt. That's why he's here now.
Yeah. No, and I'd say he was the top, one of the top D guys that were free agent. So
right.
it's huge getting him. He's a big body. I believe he's like, I'm 6'4".
6'6".
Look, yeah, he's about 6'6".
Wow.
Yeah, probably 240, 235, 240. So he's a big guy and he can move well. He's going to be a great addition to our D. He kind of plays our system to a T. And I had the pleasure of playing with him for a little bit this summer with the Salmon Bellies. So me and him built some good chemistry there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that's an important connection. And then shifting gears, I'll share this one in the chat too. I actually think Lindsay wrote this one, or maybe it's just Warriors news, but Owen Grant. I mean, we don't really have to talk too much about it, but what can you really see? I mean,
sorry, you broke up there.
About the Owen Grant signing is huge, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming into his third year now, I mean, he very well could have been Rookie of the Year his right. First year, and then second year wins Transition Player of the Year. He's got the ability to be Tranny Player of the Year, D Player of the Year, and I'm a firm believer he's going to be a MVP in this league. So, yeah, he's a special player, and it's great to see him locked up for another 3 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's important, right? Because obviously Kurt is just continuing to build from his foundation. And I was actually looking at Owen Grant thinking when he was drafted and who drafted him, third overall in the first round of the 2022 draft. But I don't know if Kurt was here that year. I thought Kurt was here the next year. That must have been under
Dan Richardson.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So, yeah, that was a good pickup. Go ahead.
His first year playing was with Kurt, though, because he had that extra year eligibility because of COVID in school and stuff. All those guys got, 5 or 6 years?
Right, they did because of the college rules, and I can't remember it exactly. But, yeah, that's another good point. But, yeah, let's keep trucking here because we obviously got Owen Grant thing covered. We got Reese Callies. We got your insight. And then, obviously, moving on to the game this past weekend, and I had to chuckle because I always look for Kurt's post-game interviews on whatever social media platform I can find it for the Warriors, and he said the highs were too high and the lows were too low. And I saw the score, which is 17-11 against the Seals. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't our best outing. I think every so the game we can improve on.
Right.
But I mean that's why we're doing this in preseason to kind of work out our problems, and it's nice that we get to get back out there Saturday against Colorado.
Yeah, right. So let's just let's talk about a few things here. Let's talk a little bit about that Colorado game, because obviously a preseason game against Colorado, and then you open the regular season at home against the Mammoth on November 29th. Obviously, I always cruise through rosters and look at different things. A few guys, obviously even on that Mammoth team on offense, right, with the guys like Will Malcolm. And I wanted to ask you who else is on that Colorado team that you played with this year in New West.
Connor Cook's on the team. Who else is on the team? He's a defender on Colorado.
Okay.
Will Malcolm.
Yeah, we covered Malcolm.
Off the top of my head, Jason Bishop coaches there. He was our head coach. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head that's on Colorado unless I'm forgetting one that got traded there. in the off season.
Well, yeah, because we talked a lot about your last time we did a podcast 3 weeks ago, right? It was basically the first part of training camp. So what's happened to training camp since then? Because I think I remember even asking you at that time what was going to happen, the first couple weeks of camp you've seen developing, because that's sort of some insight that maybe people don't always get to hear on social media, right?
Yeah, no, I think obviously it didn't show in the exhibition game, but I thought the compete's been very high in training camp. I mean, the offense, throughout the practice inter squad scrimmage, I thought Keegan Ball and Curtis Dixon are getting really good chemistry. Same with Jesse King and Marcus Clarich. They're looking really good. And it's nice because we got such a potent offense, and there's a pretty good rivalry with our defense and offense going at it every practice. So it's good. Makes each other better.
Yeah, because I always, like I said, I always chuckle at Kurt's interviews, right? And I look for them throughout the season, even if I'm at the game, like PVR the game, or I tape the game, whatever, right? And I'm always like, what's he going to say this time? Because it's always very honest insight, and sometimes it's, I don't know. I mean, it probably doesn't shock you. It doesn't shock me, but if you're a casual observer of this team, you saw that he doesn't really mince words, right?
No. He tells you just how it is.
Yeah. So let's keep going here then. So we start with the Mammoth. Any more thoughts on the Mammoth? I'm going to pull up the schedule here and see what else we've got on the table, because I think that's your first home game. But I'm trying to remember what you guys do after that. You know better than I do.
So we play the Mammoth this Saturday. Another exhibition game out in Langley. It was actually pretty cool to see. Last Saturday at the Langley Event Center, we play in the what they call it, the field house, but it was standing room only, so it was pretty cool atmosphere, and it was nice to see awesome. A bunch of support this early in the year. So we're playing Colorado this Saturday again,
awesome.
And then we play them the home opener the very next week. So it's pretty it's gonna be pretty cool to scrimmage them and then get to know them a little bit, and then build some rivalries going into the season home opener.
Because I was just looking, so November 29th against Colorado, obviously we'll get a chance to talk to you probably after the first game, maybe in early December. Then obviously home to the much revamped Las Vegas Desert Dogs, making a lot of moves in the offseason. I don't have all those in front of me. I'm going to look that up, but you play them in December at Rogers Arena, Saturday, December 13th against the Desert Dogs. First Nations night, then on the road the following week to play the Firewolves, who relocated from Albany, right, to Oshawa. So, and then nothing until Friday, January 9th. Next year, you're in Calgary to play the Roughnecks, then January 16th to play the Seals at home. So let's talk a little bit about that Las Vegas Desert Dogs team, because that team was the worst team in the league last year, right? And then they set about to revamp that roster. Looking at a few predictions from guys like Adam Levi and Brad Challoner, who said that this is a team that could make serious noise, based on the revamp, right?
Yeah, I mean, they picked up Mitch Jones, Fraser, and Kluche. Mitch Jones from Philadelphia, and Kluche and Fraser were big parts of Buffalo's three-peat. So, adding those three pieces to Nordy Young, like they got Jack Hanna. They've already got some good pieces on offense, so they're going to be pretty dynamic.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too, right? Because you see the names off the top are Drew Belgrave, Jonathan Donville, Tony Malcolm. And how many of those guys played with you in New West this year? Belgrave and
Malcolm, Jones.
Yeah, no, I knew Jones. Chase Fraser?
No, I think he played senior B.
Right. So I'm trying to see somebody else running down the list here. And look at, there's a familiar face that I see pop up there. A couple actually. Well, Terrell Hammer Jackson being one, but Terrell was there last.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, Justin Getty's there playing goal, and then Buke, another name.
He's back. He hasn't played in the league for a little bit, but I think he's been playing senior B in the summer. last couple of years.
Yeah, I saw him play a couple of WLA games. Was it this year or last year?
Was he with?
Maybe 2024 for Burnaby. And then I was at the North Shore Indians games this year in May, men's senior B. And he was there, but not playing. He was just hanging out in the crowd. So saw him there as well. Didn't really get a chance to talk to him. But so obviously a few familiar faces on that Las Vegas roster. And then you guys move ahead to obviously Oshawa, and obviously the relocation from Albany. But what can you tell me a little bit about that Oshawa team or the Firewolves team now?
Yeah, they're good. They 2 years ago they were in the finals against Buffalo.
Right.
Yeah, and they had a good. Yeah, they had a good series, good season that year. Last year they struggled a little bit, but they kind of found their game. They've got a super young team, so a lot of those guys now are entering their prime or right before their prime. So I think they're going to be a good team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of optimism, and like I said, I'm surprised but really happy to hear that game was standing room only. That's pretty awesome for a preseason game.
Yeah, it's not a very big arena, but it's pretty cool that like we go out there for our first warm up and there's fans already in the building and stuff. So it's pretty nice to see that that excitement this early in the season.
Well, I get a bit of a sense too with the fans maybe in that area. Obviously with the Langley Thunder playing out of that arena too, right in the WLA. So there's a bit of cross interest there, and I don't know. I didn't look up who the Langley Thunders was on the Langley Thunder roster this year, even though I don't know if I saw you guys playing when you were playing with the Bellies or not, but I mean, obviously there was lacrosse interest there. Funnily enough, you and I met up. Obviously, we talked about that off the air because I was next door at the Vancouver Giants WHL game, and I saw that lacrosse preseason, and I give a quick shout out to Steve Ewan because I see Steve at Giants games. He comes and helps me on the podcast, and Steve was doing double duty that night, going back and forth. He was at the Giants game in the pregame buffet when I talked to him, and then he was over checking you guys out as well. So,
was he? No, he's a great guy. Great for the sport of lacrosse. Gives us lots of exposure.
Yeah, he does. Any other final thoughts before we wrap it up, heading into obviously the preseason game and then the game home opener?
No, I mean, going into next week, I think a lot of guys are going to have kind of a sour taste in the mouth from the previous week, and I think that's good, especially going against Colorado, and we play them home opener too. So we're just looking to get better every practice, every game, and just go from there.
All right. Well, thanks for doing this, Brett. It's good talking to you.
Awesome.
We're going to wrap it up there.
Thanks for having me.